What's up, everybody? It's me, your boy JC Reviews. We're back at it again with another review, and this review we will be reviewing a very special figure that I have found, or set perhaps, which is the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Ceratosaurus Clash set. Why don't we begin the review? So starting off with packaging wise on this set, as we could see, we have a nice Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo at the corner and a nice display of the figures. And we also have the kids from Camp Cretaceous, Darius, Brooklyn, Kenji, and Toro, Ceratosaurus Clash set, and a cool picture of the Ceratosaurus doing its action gimmick. So that's it for the front of the packaging, so why don't we go to the side of the packaging. So here is one side of the packaging. So as we could see, we have Jurassic World's Camp Cretaceous logo again. And then we have the rest of the kids, which is Sammy, Ben, Yaz, and Bumpy. So that's basically it for this side of the packaging. So I'm going to move on to the top of the packaging. As we could see, we see Ceratosaurus Clash set, and then another Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo. So that's basically it. So why don't we move on to the other side of the packaging. So here is the other side of the packaging. So as we could see, we have photos or renders of the Ceratosaurus and the raptors that look kind of weird and off, but I don't know. But there's also another Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo on this side of the packaging. So that's it. Why don't we move on to the bottom? Before we go to the back of the packaging, just really quickly want to show the bottom, which is the barcode, and also that you need to assemble this figure, which is just a Ceratosaurus. You just need to attach the tail, and yeah, so that's basically it on the bottom of the packaging. So why don't we move on to the back of the packaging. Lastly, here is the back of the packaging. As we could see, we have again another Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo, Ceratosaurus Clash set, and then we also could use the Jurassic World fact set on this. And yeah, and Ceratosaurus does a chomping action gimmick, and we have photos of or renders of the Ceratosaurus and the raptors that are in very different poses. But yeah, so that's basically it for back of the packaging. So anyways, so packaging is out of the way on this, so why don't we finally crack this Ceratosaurus Clash set out of its packaging. So here is the Ceratosaurus Clash set out of its packaging. But before we go, first of all, we're just gonna go through the boring ones of this set, which is just a raptor repaints and a repack. So I'm gonna go with the raptors first. So here is one of the Velociraptors, which is Velociraptor Blue. And this one is not a repack, which surprised me a little bit. Honestly, this is actually from the Dino Rivals Charlie, but this one has blues paint deco. But anyways, we'll take a closer look on the legs later. But anyways, so as you can see, this one has pretty. We've seen this detailing and sculpt once, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, there's Charlie's legs from the Dino Rivals version. And the jaw could open, not as wide as the original Fallen Kingdom one of blue. The arms as well are articulated. The tail sadly is not articulated much. And the legs are articulated, but can be left like that. Left in that single pose. Anyways, top view of the figures, we could see nice detailing on the head, and yeah, and nothing too special of detailing on this figure much, but we've seen this many times. Nice pink tongue or mouth for this figure. Could also close its jaw, obviously. And yeah, so that's basically it for blue for the Ceratosaurus Clash set. So why don't we move on to the other green Velociraptor that's in the Clash set. Here is the other Velociraptor for the Ceratosaurus Clash set. Taking a closer look on this Velociraptor, as we could see, this Velociraptor has probably almost has the same paint scheme of the Sabbath Strike Charlie, which is very interesting. But detailing on this figure, as you can see, same nice detailing from the blue, very nice detailing on top of the head, and front view of this figure, which has a nice pink tongue or mouth, and side, as we could see, very nice detailing, but pretty average for an attack pack Velociraptor. But for this Ceratosaurus class set, I really like this Velociraptor because one, it reminds me of the Charlie Savage Strike, and is also has the same resculpt as the original Charlie from the Dino Rivals line. Has the same articulation, like the arms can move full 360, and the other arm can move a full 360 as well. The legs are movable, which also puts your Velociraptor in a Superman pose. Anyways, sorry, I got carried away there a little bit. But anyway, so that's basically it for this repaint for the Ceratosaurus Clash set. I really like this Raptor repaint for the Ceratosaurus Clash set. I really do like this repaint. But anyways, why don't we move on to the main figure of this set. So here is the main figure of this set, the Ceratosaurus, which honestly, I really like the repaint on this figure so much. So why don't we take a closer look on this figure. So as we could see, very nice paint job in my opinion. Very nice paint job. I really do like the white horn and the detailing as well. Very nice. Detailing on this figure is very nice, and paint job on it. Doesn't go all the way to the tail sadly. But either way, I really love the paint job on this figure. Really nice paint job. Really do like it. But anyway, so taking a closer look, as we could see, the tongue on this figure, or the mouth, is a very nice pink. And taking a closer look on this figure, very nice detailing. I gotta say, can't stop saying, very nice detailing of this figure. Even if it's just a repaint, I really like it. Scan code for this figure, here you go. If you guys want it in your Jurassic World Facts app, go ahead. No sound box, sadly, for this Ceratosaurus. It just opens the mouth. And yeah, so that's basically it. This figure doesn't do any sounds, but does do very nice detailing. I gotta say, I can't say enough. A very nice detailing. Top of the head, on the horn. Very nice bumps, skin flaps, everything. And as you can see, there's also a button on this that opens the jaw all the way to the tail. Very nice detailing. So anyways, why don't we move on with articulation for this figure. So articulation wise on this figure, as we could see, we could move the arms, get them outward. We can move this underarm, which also goes outward and goes for a full 360. And the jaw opens, obviously, since it has a chomping action feature, as well as the tail moves, which is obviously from the Fallen Kingdom version of this. So yeah, the legs also move for, I think so, almost full 360. No, it doesn't, not a full 360 sadly, but does go pretty far off. Same here with this other leg, which I will not be going through much. And the legs could also split, you know, just in case, if you want to make this pose for the Ceratosaurus. But yeah, so it's basically it for articulation on this figure. Sorry, just had to fix this rattle there. But yeah, so anyways, that's basically it for the Ceratosaurus and figure. And yeah, so why don't we move on to some comparisons. Before we move on, guys, really quickly, just want to go through the scan codes for these figures, these Velociraptors. So here is the repainted raptor, which is the green one. So here it is. If you guys want it in your facts app, Jurassic World facts app, you may as well go ahead scan it. And while we're here, why don't we go with blue, which is the other raptor. Here you go. You can have this one as well as in your Jurassic World facts app. So yeah, so that's basically it for these figures. So why don't we move on finally with comparisons. So here is the original Fallen Kingdom Blue next to the new Ceratosaurus Clash Set version of this. So as you can see, difference between this one, the Fallen Kingdom one opens its jaw super wide, and the other one opens it in not really that wide like the original one. But that's basically it for one of the different reasons. But the other main reason of this is just a different leg position of the original, which there's a new one and here's the old one, which is a little bit different, which is definitely not a repack. Here's a top view of them, of the Fallen Kingdom one and the new version of blue. But yeah, so basically it's just the leg position of this one, so it's not entirely a repack, which I thought, but that's basically it. So why don't we move on to the green wrap. So here is Charlie next to the repainted green Velociraptor for the Ceratosaurus Clash set, and as you can see, these have very similar paint schemes to them, but are obviously very different figures. That one's the Savage Strike, and this one's the Ceratosaurus Clash set. They're very different from each other, but have very similar paint schemes. So why don't we move on to the Ceratosaurus. So here's the Ceratosaurus Clash set, or Ceratosaurus, next to the original 2018 Roivor Ceratosaurus. But as you can see, this original one is obviously from Jurassic Park 3. The paint job is very similar to it. And this one, the new version of the Ceratosaurus, is just a repaint. But honestly, in my opinion, I really love this repaint. I honestly like both of them. And this one just has no soundbox, sadly. But the other Fallen Kingdom version of this does have a soundbox. So there you go, has a roar, has a speaker. But obviously this one's just a repaint of this original one, which has the same articulation on the tail. But yeah, so that's basically it for this Ceratosaurus. Nothing else much to say other than having no sound bugs, and that's basically it, having very different paint job from the other one. But yeah, but in my opinion, they're both very, very nice Ceratosaurus repaints, or the new one is a nice repaint and all. But yeah, so anyways, why don't we move on to a human comparison. So here is a quick human comparison. Obviously this is in the 3 3/4 inch line, so these are perfectly in scale. So here's Owen next to the Velociraptors and the Ceratosaurus. Nothing else much to say here other than it being in scale now. So anyways, why don't we go to my final thoughts of this set. So overall, in my opinion of this set is obviously very hard to find, surprisingly, in IROS. But overall, in my opinion, guys, of this set, I gotta say, this set is just kind of a repaint and retool. Just only the Ceratosaurus has no soundbox and all, and the Raptors are just repaints of the Dino Rivals Charlie figure, which is basically it, of the slight resculpt or on the legs, which is basically it. So that's basically it of the set. But still, in my opinion, I really like the repaints on this one. You have the nice green raptor and the nice repaint of the Ceratosaurus, which I honestly really like. But yeah, so my opinion, I really like this set, and tell me in the comments below if you guys will be tracking this set down in IROS, because I found this set at IROS. But yeah, guys, so anyways, that's gotta do it for this review for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and yeah, so remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps out the channel, tells me that you guys enjoy this type of content, and click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you guys want to have exclusive content of me, you could follow me on my social medias, Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the description. And yeah, guys. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios and goodbye. I will see you guys in the next one. Adios and goodbye. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Adios and goodbye.